Hello, hello, good morning and welcome to day. What is day today? Day number 8 on the Become the Go-To Girl in your industry and be seen as a leader. So today is a super exciting day because it's Q&A, but then we also have the topic on the day and is who is your audience. So when we talk about everyone is selling. We are selling ourselves every single minute of the day. So how this goes about is this, like you are selling to your kids, you are selling to your partner, you are selling to everyone who is around you. We need to be able to identify who is the people that we want to sell to, especially when we are in business. So let's say you identify you want to work with women, or you want to work with men, or you want to work with men, or the corporate people, like you know how it goes. Why do we need to identify our audience, especially when it comes to your personal branding? It's because you want to know how are you going to connect with them. So I'm going to share my story of how I came to decide who is my audience. So I now work with corporate women and professional women who are pretty much between 30 to 55 years old, and who are women who are feeling pretty much at that place in their lives when they feel ready to stand in their power and start taking action to just move forward with their careers, with their personal brand, with the image. They're ready to look the part, to feel the part. How I came about to my audience, it wasn't just an easy process. I started working with absolutely everyone. And I felt when I started my business that if I wanted to help everyone, and I, in theory, can help absolutely everyone, But I started just to realize as I advanced in my business that I started working with men. Hey, Lina. I started working with women. I started working with corporate women. But my perspective that the people that you're meant to serve and the people you're going to be working with need to come from who you are and who are you most passionate about helping. So for example, I came into a place in my career when I decided I didn't want to work with men anymore. Sorry guys, like I do have my clients, but I mostly work with women, and that's what excites me the most. And the reason for that is because I want to work with women who have gone through the same things that I've gone through. And I understand women, how they feel, and it makes me excited to just be able to just take a woman on a journey that I can just do if it's a woman. So I think that sometimes, and I got into a place in my life where I went into my database and I deleted 2,000 men, and obviously it wasn't hard. Like I'm letting people that I could be working with, but the more I connected to who I was and who I wanted to serve, the easier it was for me to really start transforming my business around and having more and more and more clients. So sometimes we are scared of getting a little bit more specific, but the more specific we get with our audience, the easier it is for you to connect with them, because I was so clear about what was the message I had to share, and I knew it was with women. The more I am able to connect to my audience through my newsletters, through my videos, the more I am going to be able to say things that are going to resonate with them, as opposed of talking to a lot of people and having a lot of people in your database or your Facebook group or wherever you have them, but you are not resonating with them. So sometimes we get scared about being more specific, but I can tell you that for me, getting more specific makes my message be more genuine, more authentic, and allows me to connect to my clients quicker, because I know who I am absolutely passionate about helping. So for today's challenge, your questions are: who are you excited to work with? I want you to just shift your approach to your audience a little bit. No, I want to help everyone, and feeling that you're going to miss out. Who does excite you? Is it men? Is it women? Are there new people? We have a question here. Okay, I'll get to that in a second, Lina. Who is it that excites you in the bottom of your heart? No, yeah, I can help everyone. That is not going to help you. Go to your heart and start looking again. Who am I? What are my stories? And what are my learnings? And how can I just when I think of having clients of these characteristics and these feelings and these emotions, how does it make me feel? Now, I also want you to ask yourself why. Because when you start asking yourself why you want to work with these people, you're going to start realizing that there's some people that probably you're not meant to be serving, because probably the connection with them is not as strong as the people that you have an actual why. So that's why when I say, why do I want to work with women? Well, because I am one and I understand exactly how women feel. Why? Because I have seen the benefits that you get when you connect who you are with your personal brand and you look at the part. Why? Because, and I work with the self-love and self-confidence piece as well. Why? Because in my personal life, I know how was the missing piece. I was able to master my image pretty quickly when I was a teenager, but I had that disconnect from who I was. I want to help women to be better communicators and have a great presence because I know the impact it has in their lives because I have experienced it myself. So connect to the why, and that is really going to help you. Hey, Michael, that is really going to help you to just understand why is it that you meant to serve. And I also ask you to ask yourself, what are you most excited about sharing with them? And in my personal experience, as I was saying before, I found a little bit hard to connect with men and women, with corporate, with everyone, because I was not trusting me. I was not trusting my message. But when I connected more to my message, it was more exciting for me. It was easier for me to write a newsletter. It was easier for me to do a video. So the more you connect to the why you want to serve them and you want to help them, and the more you connect as to the reason why is it that you want to help them and what is it exciting to you, the easier your communications are gonna flow through you. So remember, with your audience then, and we did yesterday, your online presence, when you are talking to people through any of the different ways in which you can do it, either the newsletter or the social media, you need to have always your audience in mind. So it's really important that you think, who is watching this, what is going to be relevant to them about this that I am saying, and the more passion and the more confidence you have about what you are saying, the better. We talk about that also on day 3 when we talk about your presence. So it is all about you being able to show out online or with a confidence and with an excitement and with a passion that people get to see that you actually care for them and that you actually know your topic. So it is important that you narrow it down as opposed to just go too broad, helping everyone with a message that is too general. Okay, so let's start now with the Q&A. So if you have any, good morning, Goose. If you have any questions in regards that anything that is related to your personal brand, to your style, to your presence, just go on, put them on the comments. I also have some questions here that have been submitted. So I'm going to start with this first one. Do you have any recommendations about how to create videos? Oh, okay, this is awesome. And this is something that I face a lot with my clients, being a little bit intimidated by being on video. And I now, especially now at this time that is so easy for us to connect through video, there's so many ways. We can do Periscope, we can do YouTube, have a YouTube channel, you can do our live videos on Facebook, and the list goes on. And I would say that one of the things that scares us the most about jumping online and do our videos is fear. And it's getting really scared. So I am not an expert on videos, but what I do know is that when you are absolutely passionate about what you have to share, that when you practice a little bit in front of the mirror, and I always say this, just imagine you have just one person in front of you or behind the camera looking at you and smiling at you. When you stand there thinking, I have a message to share, and you make a point about just connecting to what you have to say, I think that's all that it takes. And sometimes with fear, like with anything else, if you're scared of doing your videos, with fear, like with anything else, is we just have to grab them by the horns. So I have a client who was absolutely panicked. He's been panicking for months and months, and what happened, she decided, she made a decision. I'm going to do videos every day, and she did. And she started doing videos every day, even if they were for a couple of minutes. And what happened was, is towards the end of the week that she decided to do the video, she found it so exciting to be able to connect with people. So sometimes it's just about jumping on it and start doing it. Hey, Rachel. So it's all about really. For me, it's all about that. Bring your presence. Make sure what is the brand. How do you want to come across? And that is one thing that is really important. Sometimes we get frozen when we are in front of the camera like we're doing here and thinking too much about what people are thinking about us, as opposed of us being able to focus on what we have to share. So it's really important that I got distracted with the likes. So it's really important there that you remember what is it that you have to say, and you remember that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have your hair perfect. Sorry, there's some mosses here. You don't have to have your hair perfect. You don't have to have your makeup perfect. Nothing needs to be perfect. If you are feeling confident and if you are passionate about your message, you can jump and do a live video. These live videos can be a great way to start because they can be more casual. Like when you are obviously working with more professional videos, there's people like Rachel and Michael who are here on live, who, for example, told me everything I know about videos, and that is fantastic. But I would recommend that you start straight away sharing your message and stop being and panicking about what is it that you have to share, or how is it that you have to show up. And I think it was on day, which day was that I talked a little bit about that on visibility, the day of visibility. And I have on the Wow Now Revolution page, I have few people who started sending their photos and started sending their videos. You just need some time just to get inspired, to start showing up, because remember, the only way you're going to become the go-to girl in your industry and be seen and be noticed and be seen as a leader is the more you show up, the more you are visible, the more you are there showing who you are, imperfect, you don't need to be perfect, and sharing your message. Now I have another question here, and if you guys have any questions, just feel free to put it there. I have one, probably if you have one, I will do one more, and everyone who have not had the time to get back to you today in this live video, I will reply by email. And I love this question, like, what does it really mean to be your brand? And sometimes people get really, and I hear it all the time, it's like, what is this thing? I need to be a brand. That means that I'm going to be putting a little box. That means that I'm just going to be able to wear 2 or 3 colors of my logo. And that is not the point. And for me, your personal brand is all about you being connected with who you are, you being standing on your power and being your confident self, and authentically and unapologetically sharing who you are with the world. So it's really important that you remember that being a brand is all about you being authentic. And the more you connect to that authenticity, or what is you, what it makes you, the easier it's going to be for you to share what with the world, through your personality, through the clothes you wear, to your body language, through the videos you make, to the posts you put on social media. So it is important to remember that being on brand is a way of you having a consistent message. And we talk about the touch points of your personal brand few days ago in the challenge. So you create a consistent message so people get a feeling of who you are, and it's consistent. When we create consistency, people feel trust, and when we create trust, people are happy to buy from us. And how I started today, remember, people do business with people they like, and they like and trust. And when you create that consistency across all the ways in which you can communicate with your clients, people are going to be more open and happy to buy from you. And if you are coming from your heart and being congruent and you're being yourself, you're going to be helping someone with something that is really close to your heart. So remember, your personal brand, for me and my approach, I can just talk about me obviously, is pretty much a transformation, a journey in which you go inside to reconnect to who you actually are. You stand in your power, you are your confident, beautiful self, and then from that position you share apologetically who you are, and you make it on a consistent way. So today is day number 8 of the challenge. So if you haven't completed all the questions on the workbook, I highly recommend that you do. The link is at the top of this video. You can watch all the replays of the videos up today. Most of them are around the 10-minute mark or under. There's just 1 or 2 that I went a little bit overboard. Make sure you do download the workbook. And we are approaching the end of the challenge. So I really recommend that if you haven't, do so, because you really, even if you have a business, even if you're an employee, even if you're a man, like this can really apply to absolutely everyone. And when you actually go through these very simple questions and you watch the challenge, you're going to start finding little pointers and action points, because tomorrow is all about creating an action plan. I am a very much implementation person, and I know that we can learn and we can have aha moments and understand things, but it's only when we decide to take action and make a plan to make it happen is that we can start creating our amazing and fantastic Wow Now personal brand. So make sure you do join me live tomorrow at 8 in the morning Perth time, or you can see on the page what are the times for your city. Make sure that you have completed the workbook as to where we are today. And if you have any extra questions that I didn't get to reply today, please make sure you go to the Wow Now Revolution group on Facebook. This is a group, closed group for women, where I share and some information that no one else gets to see. So I just get my group extra information and insight. You can ask me any questions about the challenge or about anything else. And I wish you everyone a really good day, and I'll see you tomorrow for Action Plan, one of my favorite topics. Bye-bye.